Hey everybody, this tutorial is going to go over how WordPress integrates with Showit. So we all know that you can have a blog. Some of my videos have shown you how to build out those blogs, but today I'm going to be going over kind of how that all works together with WordPress, and then also what the back end of WordPress kind of looks like. So I'm sure y'all are getting tired of looking at my home page, but we're going to do that again. So we have designed a blog page over here. This is what our blog looks like. They are all in different views, the way they are supposed to be. So I kind of wanted to go into a little bit more detail because I get a lot of questions about, well, I don't want the same picture on every blog post, or, I don't understand how this is working. And it's hard to visualize unless you have your blog connected. So I'm going to give you an example of my blog, which is a work in progress. Keep in mind, I think I may only even have one up. So you can see as this loads, slow today, there we go. So this blog post, you can see, does not have that same image. This image was set in WordPress. So basically all that's happening is that you're designing the layout of your blog in Showit, and then based on what you put into WordPress, it's going to pull that info and everything is going to look the same style-wise, as in this text is going to be the same font here. This is showing one line, but I have room for 2 lines here. If the title of the post was longer. This is set as a button that would go to the WordPress post, so I can click through here and it's going to take me here, which is my single post page. It's pulling from the single post template. So let's take a look at that and you can see the difference. So here's my single post template. You can see I have an image up here and it's set to pull the WordPress featured image. I have set this as my WordPress featured image, so it is going to pull the image I set in the dimensions that are on your template. This is the styling of the title, and it's set to post title over here in text properties. So it is going to put the title of the blog post in that same type styling that I have set there. Now the rest of your blog content, which is set here, I've just put it in a paragraph here, is going to pull the same styling. You can see I have some headings here. It's going to pull the styling that's set in your design settings. So this is going to be your H1, H2, H3, H4. So now that you kind of understand how it's pulling those things, I'm going to go into the back end of WordPress and show you how I'm doing some of these things. Generally, when you get your blog set up, it's going to be your domain name /wp-login. You'll get your login set up, and Showit helps with all of this. Okay, so now we're going to go over here into posts. And I have this one blog post set up here. So you can see here that this is the title, which is then pulled and showing here, which I have set the look of it here. So let's say this kind of is an example of how Showit pulls the styling and how WordPress and Showit integrate that way. So for example, if this is the title of my post, but I decided I don't like the way that it looks here, I'm not going to go into WordPress because it's not content-based. I'm going to go into Showit and change the font of this over here. So let's say I wanted it to be this one instead. So I'm going to publish that. And now since I've changed the typeface over on this side, I'm going to refresh this. And you can see now that the title has changed. The same thing can be done if you don't like the way that these are set up and showing, but keep in mind that if you change any of these, it's going to change it across your site if anything is set to these things. So be careful with that. The way that you would pick your featured image in WordPress is on this right-hand side. You're going to scroll down to this featured image section. You can see I've selected this one, but if I wanted to pick a different one, I could put this in, set it, update it here. And now this is going to change, but you can see that it's still the same dimensions that I set within the Showit template. That is also going to show up here as this image because this is also pulling the WordPress featured image for this particular blog post. And I can show you that here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that back because that's not the one I wanted. Switch that over here. Update this. So that's a very, very quick explanation of how WordPress and Showit integrate together for blogging. The best thing to keep in mind is that anything style-wise, typefaces, colors, sizes, spacing, that kind of a thing is all going to be done in Showit, but the actual content is of putting in your title, putting in your pictures, putting in your actual blog post. Here I've embedded a YouTube video, linking things that you want in your actual blog post. That's going to be done on the back end of WordPress. So keep in mind when you are designing your blog in Showit that these are just your templates that are then going to pull the information from WordPress through in the design that you've put in here. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that clears any questions up. And as always, like and subscribe and leave me any comments if you have any questions.